Hey there. Hey, welcome back to another one of my videos. Today's video, so I did a reflective video, and then I did a mostly negative video, and now I'm going to be doing a mostly positive video. I want to talk about family. That's today's topic. So I just got back from a trip. I spent a week I spent 4 whole days actually, because the rest of the time was travel time, but I was gone for a week there, and down to Florida, where I have family. And I visited my dad and my stepmom and my stepbrother and my stepsister and her husband and her daughter and her granddaughter, brand new little baby. The family keeps expanding. The baby was absolutely gorgeous. And oh, it's so funny just seeing a baby's eyes when they start talking with their eyes, you know. It reminds you of why we are here. We are here to experience wonder, the amazing things in this planet, in this earth. And you know, we get so bogged up in all this fear mongering, all this politics, all this stuff that we don't really need, you know, all this stuff that frankly is just control for the sake of control. I'm not advocating anarchy, because anarchy is just another form of control, believe it or not. But anyway, like I said, it's gonna be mostly positive. I live mostly like a hermit, right? I don't have tons of friends, but I have a couple of very close friends. And luckily, 2 of my closest friends actually live here in the same small town as me. One of them lived here before I moved here. And then I moved here, and then another one of my friends kind of followed me afterwards because, you know, I kind of discovered a neat little place where things are way cheaper than when we were all living before. And the people are nice, and you know, the air is clean and nature is nice. And I mean, there's lots of good things about where I live now. And I feel like I've built a little family amongst my friends here. And I'm hoping to bring more people here, frankly. And, you know, continue to expand that family of friends. But at the same time, you know, I don't live very close to the rest of my blood family. The other side of my family, my mom's side, lives in another part of North Carolina where I live. And, you know, I don't get to see them that often. And, you know, that's kind of sad. It's so funny. So the reason I'm really bringing this up is I talked to my sister. All of my siblings are my siblings. I don't really think of them as, you know, I have, you know, if you wanted to be totally technical, I have a half brother and a half sister and a whole brother and 2 stepsisters and 2 stepbrothers. And, you know, I don't, let's say 3 of them total I don't really have much interaction with. Mostly because they were older by the time the family kind of coalesced. But anyway, I still consider them family. I would still do anything for them. You know, even my half brother that I have only seen like 3 times in 20 years, I would still do anything for. If he needed something from me, if he needed a kidney, and I was the only one to give it to him, I'd do it. Because I think, you know, family is a connection that is beyond how much time you actually spend with people. Like, you could go 10 years from seeing someone face to face, and you get back together, and all of a sudden, it's like this energy, it never went away. At least that's how it works for me. I don't know how it works for everybody else. You know, I think I have a bit of a unique perspective on some things, in that I notice other people, to them, love comes and goes. And I honestly think that they don't understand love. To me, love doesn't go anywhere. It just gets stronger and deeper. I mean, I still love everyone I've ever loved. It never went away. You know, girlfriends that I loved in my late teens, early 20s, I still love. I would still do anything for. I would still show that love, you know, and Obviously romantic love and family love is a different thing, but I mean, to me, it's all tied together. It all goes to a core part of you that nothing else does. And what I love when I get to see family that I haven't seen in a while is how it reminds me of that connection. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit of a love camel in that I don't need a ton of that. And I'm not saying, I don't think you can really overdose on love. I've never tried. But a little bit goes a really long way with me. If I can see someone and reconnect with them, yeah, it's sad to not see them again for a long time, but I still feel like I can hold them in my heart, and I can still know, as long as I know they're doing good, I feel like I still have that connection, and I can still feel good about however long it's been. I don't know. I guess I'm rambling a bit here, but I think you can see where I'm going. Family is really important, and I think a lot of people undermine that whole concept of family, or they abuse that concept of family, or they don't appreciate family. And one of the reasons why I'm even saying this is that I kind of got the impression talking to my sister that she didn't think that I appreciated that connection, or at least didn't fully appreciate it. I don't think she was accusing me of not loving other people or not caring. I don't think it was like that. But, I can go sometimes months or years without talking to people. And that's just, I don't know how to explain it. I get lost in my own little world. These days I'm just talking to a camera here, and I don't even know if anybody else is even watching or ever going to see this. But that doesn't mean I don't care. I do care. Even if I'm not actively thinking about these other people, when I do think about them, I take it seriously, and I do consider their well-being, and, I yearn to see them again, for sure. And it's, I don't know, it's always a mixed bag with me. I've got some trust issues that have been ingrained in me from traumatic things that have happened in my life, and sometimes having just that little bit to hold on to is enough for me, because I don't know, I don't want to push things. I don't want to jeopardize things by upsetting people. It seems like sometimes when people spend too much time around me, they find a way to be upset by me. So sometimes it's just like, okay, that was a really good interaction. That was a really good experience. Let's just kind of let that sit for a couple of years. And whenever they think of me, they'll think of that interaction, not other interactions that might not have gone so smoothly or whatever. And sometimes I don't think at all. I'll admit it. Sometimes I'm off on my own little planet in the middle of some other universe, and I don't think about other people. I'm just thinking about myself. Or I'm not thinking even about myself. I'm just thinking about other bigger ideas. I'll be the first to admit to you that I spent most of my youth wallowing in ego, and since I figured out what the hell that was, I've been spending the rest of my life trying to separate myself from it. And, separating yourself from your ego, sometimes you separate other people that you love from who you are is part of them too, and vice versa. So, yeah, these all sound like excuses for not calling your mom, right? Or not calling your sister, or not calling your dad, or whoever. I do call my dad a lot. And it's funny, I was talking to my sister about that. I was like, I talk to Pops all the time. And it almost seemed to upset her a little bit that I talked to him so much. And then when I explained it, it seemed to upset her even more. I'm like, well, we always have stuff to talk about. And it's funny how people can automatically, vicariously think that by making one example about something or someone else, that you're automatically making the counterexample out of them, which is not at all what I was saying. I wasn't implying at all that I wouldn't have interesting things to talk about with her. But I don't know, my dad in particular, and I love you, Dad, I hope you're watching this. he's been very instrumental in helping guide me my whole life, really. But, I'd kind of floated on and done my own thing for like, I don't know, 15 years, almost 20 years. And I feel like I've come back after this odyssey, and I'm definitely doing really good now. But there was a bit there, especially last year, where I was just kind of drifting, and I seriously needed some guidance. I seriously needed some outside perspective to help keep me positive, help me refocus where I was going. My dad definitely helped me with that, and that's what that was all about. If you're watching this, sis. All right, well, look, y'all, it's good to have family. I'm glad that I've got family. I treasure them. I truly treasure them. And the time I get to spend with them when I'm not working my 80-hour work weeks, it's beautiful. I'm going to have to go back to working my butt off here to kind of make up for the time that I lost. I didn't lose any time, but, I was away from stuff, and that's the nature of time, isn't it? When you take time from one thing and devote it to another thing, and you got to come back and kind of reset. Anyway, I'm back on the reset now, and I got to do that. So, man, my nose is just itching. God, why is it? As soon as I start feeling, things like that happen. It's much better now. Thanks for putting up with me, y'all. Hey, I love you. I mean it. Until next time.